Hello students, good morning to all of you. Today's analysis is law of demand. Very easy. What is law of demand? We have already discussed what is demand and determinants of demand or that function of the demand. Now we will discuss what is law of demand. Students, whenever you go to market to purchase any kinds of goods, at that time always you want to know what is the price of the goods. It means your demand will depend on the price of the goods, which is the most important function or most important determinants of the demand function, that is the price of the goods. So this demand of the goods depends on the price of the goods as per your needs, wants or which way it can give satisfaction to yourself. Whenever you are purchasing the goods as per the price, how much quantity are demanded, it is obvious that when the price will be less, your demand will be more. Suppose you go to the market and you see that tomatoes kg is 80 rupees, and that time how much quantity will be demanded? 4 kg, 2 kg. If that tomatoes available in that 40 rupees, so naturally your demand will be more. So that kinds of relationship is to be known as inverse relationship, which I was discussed earlier. So it depends on the price of the goods, that is called that needs or wants, which goods can satisfy as per your requirements or needs. So what is law of demand? That is law of demand. Whenever the price increases, demand decreases, or price decreases, demand increases. This inverse relationship, this is called the inverse relationship. That is written here. Law of demand states that other things remaining same. Other things remaining same or constants. Other things remaining same or constant. That is in Latin word, it is to be called that ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus means that is same, other things remaining same or constant. It means if you have income 50 rupees, that 50 rupees will be same or constant, that income will not increase. That is called that ceteris paribus, or other things being equal. Remember it when I was discussing that microeconomics and macroeconomics differences. That time I have explained about the other things remaining same or the ceteris paribus. I was said at that time I will discuss when I will start that law of demand. So this is the real time now, other things being same. It means when income will be constant, then if the price increases or decreases, what is the effect as per that income, price and demand is concerned? That relationship is that inverse relationship. That there is an inverse relationship between price of the goods and the quantity demand of that goods at a given time in case of the normal goods. So it is applicable in case of the normal goods. So this means the demand for X goods, is the functional relationship between the price of the goods. So what is the price of the goods? Price of the dx, I have already said dx means demand for X goods. F is that functional relations, and Px is the price of X goods. Or whenever the price of the goods increases, decreases, at that time your income will be constant. That is why I am writing here ceteris paribus. That is in symbolically we may write demand for x equal to function of price x, or that is ceteris paribus. This is to be called the law of demand. And this law of demand we are explaining so far that linear demand curve. Linear demand curve. Remember it. Linear demand curve case. That is Q equal to A minus BP. A minus BP, which is the linear demand curve, and its slope is delta P upon delta Q. This is to be called the demand. So after analyzing the meaning of the demand or law of demand, and when this law of demand operates, at that time when I am writing that other things being constant, or other things being same, or other things being equal, or ceteris paribus. Other things remaining same, other things being equal, other things remaining constant, or ceteris paribus. All are the same. So that analyzes what are the conditions will be constant or same or equal. These things are to be called also as assumptions. So now I will write here assumptions. Assumption of law of demand. Assumptions. Before we explain the law of demand. The price of the related goods remains same. First assumption is that price of related goods remain same. It will be constant, because price increases if that other related goods, means that coffee goods price will remain same, so that the people will consume that coffee in place of tea. That is why price of the related goods remain same. But most important factor is that your income must be same. Income, or the Y, that is must be constant. Income must be constant or remain unchanged. And taste and preferences will be same or constant. Taste and preferences will be same or constant whenever the law of demand is operating. All of the goods are to be homogeneous. For goods must be homogeneous. It means if you are consuming that rasgulla, that shape, size, quality, taste, all this will remain same. That is called that goods must be the homogeneous. And commodity should be normal goods. These are the assumptions whenever law of demand will operate. So what is law of demand? Law of demand states that other things remaining same, other things remaining constant. These are the assumptions, other things will remain same. Then there is the inverse relationship between price of the goods and the quantity demand of that goods at a given time in case of the normal goods. That is to be called that law of demand. So it means if price of X goods, any goods, either it will be the rasgulla or gulab jamun, any other goods, and demand of X goods dx I may write here. Here is the px, price of the x goods. Suppose price of the goods is rupees 20, then demand for x goods is 6. Price is 20, demand for x goods is 6. Price is 30, demand for x goods may be 5. Price 40, demand for my goods may be 4. Price is increasing 50, it may be 30. Sorry, it may be 3. Between 20 rupees, this is in rupees, this is units. 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 40 rupees and 50 rupees. Your demand will be like this. Let's see this. If price increases rupees 20 to 30, your demand decreases 6 to 5. If price increases 30 to 40, your demand decreases 5 to 40. If price increases 40 to 50 rupees, your demand decreases 4 units to 3 units. This relation here is that this is that price of the goods is increasing. The price is increasing and demand is here decreasing. This relationship is to be known as inverse relationship. That is why law of demand says that other things remaining same or ceteris paribus, there is the inverse relation. This is the inverse relationship. In between price of a goods X, and quantity of demand of that goods means that X goods. So remember it, you don't forget to write here dx or demand for X goods. On that same goods you are demanding. So it is essential to write the dx or demand for that X goods, not only that X goods, or not on the demand of goods, that is demand of the X goods. So this relationship is known as the inverse relationship. So whenever we say the first combinations, A 20 rupees 6 unit, B combination 30 rupees 5 unit, C combination 40 rupees 4 unit, and D combination 50 rupees 3 units. This is that one table, and this table is to be known as demand schedule. This is called the demand schedule of an individual. This is called individual demand schedule. So what is individual demand schedule? Individual demand schedule is a tabular presentation. Individual demand schedule is a tabular presentation. It is the one table, and this table shows us what is the price and what are the quantities are demanded. It means 20 rupees 6 unit demands, 30 rupees 5 unit demand, 40 rupees 4 unit demand, 50 rupees 3 unit demands. So this tabular presentation shows us that the different quantities are demanded at the different prices of a goods. A goods means here the X goods. X goods price is 20, demand is 6 units. What did I say? Different quantities are demanded at the different prices of a consumer is to be known as the demand schedule, or it is called the here individual demand schedule. Now it is clear what is demand schedule. Demand schedule is a tabular presentation which shows the different quantities goods are demanded of a consumer at the different prices at a given period of time is to be known as the demand schedule. And this can be plotted in the diagram. Suppose this is the diagram. O X goods and O Y. Sorry, this is that X goods or units of X goods demanded, and y-axis price of X goods, price of X goods. Let the price is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, like that. This is the price of X goods in rupees, or unit of X goods are demanded. So the 20 rupees, how much quantity demands? 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 6. 20 rupees, 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 30 rupees, 5 units. And 40 rupees, 4 units. And 50 rupees, 3 units. Is that A point, B point, C point, D point, E points? When we will join A to E, is that demand curve. This is called demand curve. AE is called demand curve. Now, what is the demand curve? Demand curve is a graphical presentation of the demand schedule. This is the 20 rupees, 6 units. So, this is the 20 and 6. This is the 30 and 5. This is the 40 and 4, and this is that 50 and 3. So this tabular presentation shows in the diagram, and we draw that line A, which is to be called that demand curve. So what is demand curve? Now, demand curve is a graphical presentation which shows that quantities are demanded at the different prices, which is to be known as the demand curve. Or we may say that demand curve is a graphical presentation of the demand function, is called the demand curve. But the best meaning of best line of the demand curve we may write here, that demand curve is a graphical presentation of the demand function of the demand schedule, which shows that how much quantity are demanded at the different units of the price of a goods, different price of a goods. That is called that demand curve, and A is to be called as the demand curve. It means demand curve shows the graphical representation of the demand schedule, which is to be known as the demand curve. So now you are clear the meaning, the demand schedule and demand curve. Demand schedule is the tabular presentation, demand curve is the graphical presentation. Very simple. Demand schedule, it is the tabular presentation. It is that graphical presentation. Tabular shows what, how much quantities are demanded, the different prices. It is also same shown how much quantities are demanded at the different prices. or we may say that the demand schedule is to be represented on the graphical form is to be known as the demand curve. So demand schedule is a tabular presentation, demand curve is a graphical presentations, and both are showing the different quantities are demanded of a goods at the different prices of that same goods at a given time is to be known as tabular presentation is demand schedule, and graphical presentation is to be known as demand curve. So now you are clear what is law of demand. So law of demand says that, or law of demand states that, other things being constant, that all these things are constant, income is the constant, price of the related is constant, taste and preference is the constants. So all these things will remain same. That is to be called that other things being constant. And there is the inverse relationship. Inverse means that price and quantity, there the one is increasing, other one is decreasing. That is called that inverse relationship, or that inverse relationship between price of a goods and the quantity demand of a goods. When a consumer desire to consume the goods at a given time, in case of normal goods, this is called the law of demand. And tabular presentation is to be demand schedule, and graphical presentation will be the demand curve. Students, please note it. We have already given the syllabus for your past unit test. So accordingly you prepare, because from 20 seconds you are going to be appear that online test which will be all the object type questions, and there should be the multiple choice. So it is that golden opportunity you are getting that multiple choice. Due to that corona or due to that COVID-19 pandemic, we are not able to take that offline test, so that you must be ready for the test before that 15 minutes at what time your exam will start online. So be ready for the test, and those students who are not watching this video, please convey your message or to their parents which way they will be attend and they will see it and they will be do better for their exams. That is why I request to convey the message to other students which way it will be effective of their marks online examination. Thank you.